You mentioned NWA. They had their movie. They shot it in Compton. That was big for Compton.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't big for Compton.
Compton was always big, but I mean, you got.
I mean, that's the biggest movie. I mean, that thing did hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't.
Yeah, but it didn't do nothing for Compton.
Okay.
I mean, you don't see no edifice. You don't see no big star when you go down Rosecrans. You don't see that. Oh, this is the NWA movie. You don't see no big plaques or nothing for Compton on that. So I mean, we've been big all our life. You can't have a comedian say a joke without using the word Compton. You can't have any black movie if they don't mention Compton. We always been big. But the movie solidified what NWA did, and NWA was the birth of gangster rap. Before that, it was hip hop. Fuck the Police didn't come from the East Coast. It didn't come from the South. It came straight out of Babylon. Came straight out of Compton. Easy. Fuck the Police. Easy said with authority, huh? So we always been big, man. Just that advertisement. But the advertisement, like you saying. It's just like your show, advertisement, and you get this stuff with advertisement and you merchandise it, you get a residual from it, right?
Yep.
So Compton ain't got no residuals from NWA. The movie, it didn't build nothing in Compton. So it was just a movie that was done like any other movie.
So what you're saying is like when they shot the movie in Compton, that didn't put any money in anybody's pocket or do anything for anybody?
It put some money in some pockets, but they bought Hennessy and weed, so it didn't. Ain't nobody bought no houses.
Well, I don't think that's not their fault though.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, if I give you money and you don't do the right things with it, that's my fault.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean, if you give me money on a small basis and a percentage and I don't know what to do with it, when you could have done something else. By the same way, okay, you gave a couple of guys security jobs, $500 a week. What am I do with $500 a week? But through your movie, you made enough money that you could have put up a sound studio. You could have rented someplace for kids to go do rap, because these ghostwriters, you're not in the same element you are, this ghetto rap and stuff. You don't feel the same way when you could have a perfect sunset. Everything is good in your life. You ain't grimy no more. So you hire people that are still grimy to do the writing for you. So we got a lot of talented kids in Compton that maybe you could change their lives. So a $500 in changing somebody's life, what would you rather do?
I mean, I would take the money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hope he paid him more than $500 a week, but I mean, I don't know.
Why would they pay him more than that?
They ain't made $500 a week in their life.
Don't security guards make more than that? But I mean, you had the houses that he used. All the people. A lot of people were from Compton that he used. I mean, just for me, it just looks like quite a few people got paid. I don't know. Maybe it's not enough. I think you could make that's a fair argument. If you were to say $500 isn't enough.
I'm just saying the effort that you do. If you give me a job, okay, cool. But it wasn't a job forever. It wasn't like they went from with F. Gary Gray and on every one, John T. He came on as help and slid in, and he's doing well. One out of everybody else. You feel what I'm saying? So he had the tenacity to keep pushing where everybody else. I mean, I'm not saying it's nobody's fault. I'm giving the indictment to the city of Compton. They said when you knew better, you do better. We have all these outside claims of what it should. Oh, they talking this and this and that. We got this boy Charleston White talking about that we sleep in parks, that we don't have this. We old 60-year-old niggas. We don't have. I've been a homeowner all my life.
What would you like to see Dr. Dre do with the money? What would have been better for him?
To me, would have been better for him when the first ID he had, he was trying to buy the bowling alley on Central, and he was going to make a performing arts studio himself privately. The city of Compton bamboozled him so much that every time he'd make the deal, something would fall through. From what I know, I wasn't there. So the next thing you know, he was given he gave $10 million to the school. My point is that we have to take politics out of this stuff. Anytime you get these political maneuvers, we get fucked with no grease. So it was other ways that he could have passed the money out. There's other avenues he could have bought a building. So since that wasn't, and we didn't have a coordination, collective of people to get at him about it, and then the situation happened with Suge, and it just blew everything out of proportion. Now, bruh got to protect himself, so he don't want no stains, Suge, and all this confusion that's going down. So he pulled up out of Compton. I'm not mad at him about that. You know what I'm saying? Still, he did great works for the identification of Compton as the first black billionaire. I gave him a plaque. It's a hood pass. They had a scroll, had everybody signed it for Dr. Dre. Everybody like, man, how Dr. Dre get a hood pass? You know? So it's that type of stuff that we have to implore in order to make our city. Everybody talks about Compton, bro. And you come there and it's not one black restaurant there. It's not one black movie theater. It's a movie theater. It's not.
There's no black restaurants in Compton?
Not one. One, Miss Alma's.
Are you serious? That's crazy.
It's got taco stands everywhere. Not one black restaurant. No club where you can go in and dance or have a good time. You have to go outside the city. The city closes down. When you come to Compton, you'll be disappointed. It's no life there.
Do you think people are scared to put businesses in Compton because of the reputation of Compton being heavy with gangs?
Well, Target and Ross and Best Buy, they ain't scared.
Okay, but other people might be.
That's
Do you think it's possible?
The media made it possible. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say what the embargo is on Compton, you know, but I know it don't make sense to me to grow up. I mean, I grew up, first it was lily white, then it came black. We had black restaurants, we had black cleaners, we had black stores, we had black this. We don't have but one black cleaners. And it's on the outskirts of Compton. It's on El Segundo and Avalon. All Rosecrans is all other people's, all the shops that we go to belong to somebody else.
You said it used to be a lot of black-owned businesses in Compton?
Yes.
And now who's the primary owner of the businesses now?
Mexicans.
Okay.
So they got an old saying back in the 60s, and it says, whoever controls the prisons controls the ghetto, right? In the 60s and the 70s, blacks controlled the prisons. In 76, 75, when the turnover came and Mexican population started, same thing happened on the street. Now the Mexican population done built up so much, everything is Gonzalez out. I mean, it was theirs first. Rosecrans, General Santa Fe, General Alameda, General Artesia, right? General Mayo, all of General Dominguez. All the streets are named after General Avalon, General San Pedro. All of those are Mexican generals that Dominguez gave them land in California. And the Yankees tricked them out of it. So they come to get it back. And we just gave it to them. But shoot, I'm saying, y'all go to Santa Monica, go to La Puente, go to Santa Ana. Y'all got a gang of places. Why are you doing Compton like this? But hey, that's what it is.
Why do you think that so many black businesses moved out of Compton?
Because at the bicentennial year.
What year was this?
1976.
Okay.
Was called the bicentennial year, right? And blacks became middle class thinkers, and most of their children were entitled. So, I'm not gonna take my mother's cleaners. I'm not going to do this restaurant. I don't want this. I don't want that. So they felt like, well, now Compton got this stigma. Again, all gang infestation. So then, just like they had white flight in the 60s, they had black flight. So all the blacks that were selling their businesses, they start moving to Temecula. They start moving to Chino Hills. They moved to Diamond Bar and sold their property, and somebody else bought it, right? So they left their stuff and the kids didn't take it up, or the mothers and fathers died, and then you had the crack era, and now 60% of blacks cracked their parents' house off. 3 or 4 years, they didn't been so blazed up. You come back home, what happened to so-and-so? Oh man, they lost the house on, got it foreclosed because they was on crack. So the crack epidemic came, and it took all the soul out of the blacks. You know what I'm saying? So nobody had the emphasis to keep their family property, to keep this, to keep that. Man, we're gonna be on Nightmare on Elm Street. And if my mother's house is gonna be there forever. If ever you need to find a Kinsey, you can come to Elm Street. We're gonna be there. When I grew up, it was one Mexican family on our street, the Flores family. Now it's only 4 black families on the street.